Alright, welcome back everybody. We're gonna continue our discussion about bad drivers in this one. I do apologize for the abrupt ending to the last video. Internet dropped, which happens a lot. So, that's part of the adventures of the unlucky duelist. Because that has happened to me so many times. I've lost count. Where it looks like we might be getting ready to win the game, take first place, and right before we get ready to get into it, our game drops. It won't drop if you're losing. Or if I'm losing. Let me put it that way. Let me make sure it's worded correctly. It only happens if I'm about to take first place. Our problem now is we don't know what was recorded. Did we take second and get considered quit? Did they play out the match and let us win? I don't know. We're about to find out together. Drum roll, and we won. We actually took first place. We just didn't get to be there for the victory. So we got two first place back to back, and this came through for us. So, yes, I hope you guys stuck it out with me and got to see this with me. So, good outcome. Despite the fact I wish we didn't have to wait so long to find out. Because my internet literally, let me go ahead and tell you right now, Time Warner Cable is no more. It is now Spectrum. And as bad as Time Warner Cable was, Spectrum is horrible at the end of the day. Like, there's really no good internet providers because everybody is, like, cheap at the end of the day. But they charge you so much. They don't really make a deal with you. They don't want to be lenient with you because they're quick to cut you off so they can get a disconnection fee on you. And they charge you to use to get devices and everything from them, to have routers and everything. But they won't keep a steady signal. I'm sorry, we can get into this as we're playing. So you're not stuck just staring at a screen. The whole idea of even getting back on YouTube is because there is a lot of conversations I want to have, a lot of statements that need to be made, and a lot of information I want to get out there. It's kind of a grind my gears, but with video footage in the background. And as it is, I'm not a great editor. I'm actually not an editor at all. I've never done editing. I did very little. I did clip the last video that you saw out so you didn't get stuck with like a 2 minute of just the XSplit company saying oops, basically. Uh, Van Queef is one of my favorites, but I think we're gonna go Bran. No, because there's no Murlocs. We will go Van Queef because our pirates. But, and I know his name's not Queef. I just call him that. It's a rolling joke with me and my nephew. But yes, so this is that's what the conversations are for and the discussions that I'm having. And at all times, I actually welcome comments to throw in, have dialect with me. I'm not a streamer. I might consider to dabble in that one day, but I'm not all that tech savvy. I plug in a video game system and I play. In this case, when it comes to a computer, my friends or girlfriend hooks me up with my computer because I do not know what I'm doing. I am not a computer tech at all. So, but and that's why for the most part I only got a computer in the first place to play World of Warcraft, and because I basically have been looking at maybe quitting World of Warcraft because I don't like what they're doing with their games, then I had to find other games to play. So, and because it was hard to play Yu-Gi-Oh with people because of conflicting schedules and everything, and honestly I don't like the way Yu-Gi-Oh is played now, I came to this game. I gave it a shot, and I kind of like it. I love Battlegrounds. I was actually quitting this game whenever Battlegrounds came out in the first place, and I ended up falling for this. And as you see, we're still having issues. Like I said, Spectrum is garbage. If you have the option to get something that's good, and then you hear about Spectrum and you're like, well, maybe we can switch over, don't. If you have something that's working good already, do not go to Spectrum. It is a waste of money. I honestly think that legally, I believe we should be able to have our cost prorated for the time that we don't have internet service. Like, we should be able to have some kind of like little box set up in our house and record exactly how often your internet goes out, and every time it goes out, it should be so much money taken off your bill. Instead, you pay for the full month because they promise the full month and they do not deliver.
Your minions really pulled their weight.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's false advertisement. Buy him and sell him. This will go down to 2. Actually, I don't even have to sell him.
I'll clean you up.
Yeah, as my girlfriend over here that's trying to sleep said, it wouldn't be as bad, but it's literally every day. We lose internet at minimum one time a day. But it's so sluggish. We actually, we play Dark Souls here. I love Dark Souls. I started it because I was in a good place, and we used to watch other YouTubers, and they were like, "Oh, well, this is like the most frustrating game of all time." And I'm like, you know what? I like the challenge. I want to see how far I can get before I just lose my temper. And I fell in love with the game. So, could there be more improvements to it? Yeah, but it needs less improvements than stuff like World of Warcraft does. So, yeah, I'm happier with that game. But I will say, we didn't have the kind of problems with that, except for the fact that you needed what we found a NAT type 2 to play with each other through the systems. And we had a hard time summoning each other on the Xbox One when we was playing through it. But then we switched over to the PlayStation 4, and we absolutely could not connect at all. We could get maybe 2 of us in the household, but all 3 of us could not, to the point that our roommate does not play no more with us at all, because he got so frustrated with having to deal with it. Because when you have people invading you, and you're still considered a rookie compared to what they have, and they're coming in with gear that's prepared for the battle, and you're just trying to get through the game for the first time, it's not a good fair fight as it is. But then it's going to become even less fair whenever you can't stay connected with the people that you're relying on. It's like swinging a sword and then the sword disappearing in your hand. So there's not much you can do against something like that. So it became very difficult. Or you're in the middle of a boss fight, and you know the boss is going to reward a lot of souls, which is the experience points in this case. And you don't get to enjoy any of that experience points, because even though everybody else got to enjoy yours, because you got disconnected. So, yeah. I think we're actually gonna take this guy.
I see everything.
The odds are in my favor.
And we bought 2 minions, so we should buff a minion. Doesn't matter which one, we'll buff this guy just because we can. Put him here. Alright. But, so we were having that problem, and we've been having that problem for years. I used to play on the Xbox 360 back in the day. I used to play Halo Reach, and I was actually, I am gonna toot my own horn here. I was one of the best.
You're doing great out
We
there.
literally went to a tournament and had to switch over to a Halo 3 and basically relearn that game. Spur of the moment from all the practice I had been getting in Reach. I had already been like, basically, if anybody in that tournament had fought me in Reach, they wouldn't have been able to touch me. But we went in there, played a game that we hadn't played in a while with different button layouts, and we had to keep constantly switching the controllers in between. I was sick and barely awake. Another person hadn't slept in a few days, so he was completely exhausted. And then there was only one person on our side of the field that actually was even awake enough to try to play, and that's literally a roommate of mine. And he was nervous to the point that he was like freaking out and not able to just concentrate on the game. And one of our guys was a rookie. He never even played the game. The other guy that hadn't slept, really, he played some of Halo 3, but he wasn't that good either. So basically, it was just me and my roommate carrying the team. Our team, we literally didn't even know we had to name a team, because we just pulled a bunch of guys together to play in this tournament. And the name that we got given in the end was Cherry Pie. just because the host lady said, "Oh, you want me to name you? Well, I love cherry pie, so that's your name." There we go. So we got called cherry pie just because we didn't care. We just wanted to play. We want to see how good we got.
It froze over
The
right
As
under
we're
his
sitting there in
hand.
between rounds, I'm trying to sleep in between rounds so that I can try to rest up enough to actually be awake to play in the tournament during our turns. And next thing I know, the guy's up ahead of us. The guy turns around, looks at me, looks at our friend that hadn't slept, who's trying to sleep now because I'm trying to sleep, and then looks at the one person who's awake, my roommate, and says, "You guys scare the crap out of us." I'm gonna change some of the wordings to try to limit how much cursing happens in here, but y'all scare the crap out of us. And he asked him why. He says, "You guys just went up there and completely decimated the people who have taken second place every single year at these tournaments.
Fresh recruits for you.
We're the guys that takes first place every single year, and we barely beat them every time. But you guys just came in here and completely demolished them. And then this guy's over here sleeping in between rounds, and is just going down the list as to why everything that is just going on here, everything that he is seeing here, is just freaking him out because he's just like, this is so ridiculous that there's no way we have a chance against you guys, basically. And it's just, we've won this tournament so many years in a row, and this is the first time I ever felt like I don't have a chance at this place. And I went from being the guy that can walk into a game of SWAT, first to 50 points, wins, and just I literally finish out the game of 50 points, and this person in second place only has 12 points. I literally just run through the game, shoot as I'm running forward, and nobody hits me the entire game. I walk out of there without any deaths, 50 kills. I'm the champ. I've even assassinated in the game in SWAT, which is basically one shot to the head, you win. And I assassinated somebody because I was in the middle of reloading and didn't have time to pull out the sidearm anymore. I just assassinated him because I thought it would be faster. Like, literally. So, I've had some crazy feats in there, and I had to give it all up because I was getting too mad every time the internet would drop. Because it would be, I'm trying for a specific helmet. It's going to take a lot of experience to get to this. And as I'm trying to, I do my daily tasks, and just whenever I'm supposed to get my rewards for doing my daily tasks, internet drops out. This was back with Time Warner, so it's the same exact mechanics and everything, and all the machinery and everything is the exact same. It's just a different name behind it. And that got me so frustrated that I had to quit a game that I was that good at. Like, you see, I'm not that good at this game. I'm really not. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am nowhere near as good at this game as I was at that game. And it's just a shame that I'm stuck in this situation now. Let's see. I'm going to sell him. Put these two bad boys down. Originally I was going to buff him or him, but now I'm going to buff this. And I'm going to put you here and you here. But, and that's how bad this is that I went from playing a shooting game that I literally, one day I actually made my eyes bleed because I had 2 days off of work from Walmart when I used to work there. And I played Halo for the first 6 or 7 hours. Went into there and got on the one computer in the house and started playing World of Warcraft for another 6 or 7 hours. Then I turned around and came back to Halo and went back to playing that game. And the only reason why I stopped playing the World of Warcraft in the first place was because my eyes had started hurting and was itching, and I didn't understand why. I was like, okay, maybe I'm just too close to this computer screen. I'll go switch it up and go play the other game, and that way I'm further away from the screen. And because I had a big screen for the Halo, but I sat further back, and my eyes was still itching and still burning, and I was starting to blink a little. And whenever I actually got shot and killed, I was like, nah, okay, there's something wrong here. I shouldn't have been killed. That's how arrogant I became, but Yeah, so they shouldn't have been able to kill me. I'm too good for that. So what's going on here? Let me go find out. I go to the bathroom and I take a look, and my eyes are bleeding. Like my literal eyeballs are bleeding, and I'm just like, so that's what my problem is here. Is like the video games have actually started to burn my eyes because I've been playing so much of them. That's crazy. I'm not gonna keep powering this up because he's the only one who buffs up from hitting with this. And I expect all their health to get so good that the cannon isn't going to have a chance to fire more than once. So, we're going to do this. As a matter of fact, what I might do is put him over here, put him here. Yes. Yeah, we're going to do that. Because they attack him, he's going to attack buff. They attack him, he's going to die in attack, but he has less health than he does. So he's going to die when he attacks. This guy may die or may not. I don't know that yet, but we want to get the most out of this, so we have a chance of these guys getting to team up with the cannon. That was just unfortunate. So we might be too far behind now. We spent too much time building up. Oh, we spent way too much time to build up. We might have just gotten eliminated. What's it's 4, 8, 12 alone? Yeah. But yeah, so you see, there's a lot of discussions for us to have, anyways. But in this case, it's not the continuation of the driving one that I wanted to do, but it is like, you know, Spectrum is garbage. It is their fault we didn't get to see the last video, and that it's been glitchy again since then. So if you can get to another company, by all means, use another one. But we'll get back to our driving company, our driving conversation in the next video. And again, I do apologize that I had to cut the last one so short. Uh, Technically, I didn't cut it short, but I didn't see no point in having an ending without you guys, especially not something that had such a good ending. I didn't want y'all thinking I just stopped the video and finished it without you. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and let me know in the comments what y'all think about anything I've discussed here today. Peace.